Ano na, puso lang sanga ay!
Nagdaon siya, girl!
Make some noise as the great seasoning.
Sitting back, baby, watching you burn.
Shiri Faye the Lanterna. Anya Shimmery.
You blew it, baby, years ago.
Can't get with me now, I'm grown.
Hello guys, we're now on our way
Hi,
to
guys.
Marmol Cliff.
Sa pakit-kit sa miwal na slide.
Huwag kay si Anya guys, kami itong lagong. For short.
Dali, ito na tayo. Oh my god, oh my gosh.
Ma! Yeah! Mamma mia!
Here is our starting point, and here is our destination, Marmol Cliff. The distance between the two tourist sites is 1.03 kilometers, or 0.6 miles. Though it might not seem very far, that's only a straight line. Our journey had many twists and turns. Our view was beautiful though. Seeing the mountainous side of Tuburan is something we don't get to experience much when you live in town. This was the reconnection to nature that we all needed, even though it wasn't a walk in the park.
Ayaw, pagkakapi ng pinili.
After walking up and down hills, we decided to take a short break to get shots from the drone and to catch our breath.
Hala, bat! My good na! Bat! That's a big bat! That was a bat!
Welcome to Jurassic Park. Here you will see a T-Rex.
Oh!
Ah,
Very good.
Umaga niyo mo.
Ano ganun? Kiko na natin.
Umaga niyo mo.
An hour later, we had made it to Marmol Cliff. Since we were filming at each tourist attraction, it was time for an outfit change. Marmol Cliff is located in Barangay Marmol. It takes a 30-minute ride from the town center in which you can transport by motorcycle or habal-habal. One of the existing natural hazards of this site is flooding, where the stream of water can rise abruptly. The locals use this gap in between the cliffs as an easy passageway to and from their destinations. In result, the bamboo raft was created to keep them dry on their travels when the water level is high. Another threat that this site faces is vandalism and trash due to uneducated passerbys. In the area, there has been sightings of monkeys playing around at the treetops. Even white monkeys have been spotted and are now protected by ordinances the municipal council has passed in order to protect the natural heritage.
Titanic ba din? Angat jud. Lagi yun.
As we wait for the interviews of the barangay councils to finish, let me enlighten you with the backstory of this cave behind us.
Although you might not see an opening of a cave, behind those big boulders that you see is actually the entrance to Maria Tang-an's cave. Now, Maria Tang-an was an entity that would let the locals in the area borrow her things such as fancy plates, her golden utensils for their weddings, and other special occasions that they might have. Now, there are different versions of Maria Tang-an's story depending on where you ask, because around Cebu, she's actually known to live in other provinces other than just Tuburan. Now, that's why she's also known as Maria Cacao. There's probably other names for her also, but I'm not quite sure what those are. So, she would let these people borrow her things, right? And this cave is where they would actually ask for these things to borrow, and the next day they would come back and those things would just appear there for them to borrow. From what I've gathered from all these stories and stuff, she sounds very selfless and kind to these people. After a while had passed, people would return her things either broken, torn, sometimes not even returned at all, which is rude. That's just disrespectful, you know? No one wants that. So this angered Maria, and she was angered enough to leave the place and its people behind, which I'm guessing she rode on her boat. But as I've said, she's known as Maria Cacao because she also had a field full of cacao. A cacao field. Now the word cacao sounds so weird to me. But anyway, as I've said, this entrance to this cave used to be open. Now we don't know if it was decades ago or if it was like 1 decade ago, but it wasn't too long ago from what we've gathered, is because we have actually interviewed an elderly man who actually got to go inside this cave when he was a child, and that was actually where he would play with his cousins and stuff like that. And this man is like in his 80s now, and it was just amazing to talk to him and like hear from his experiences in there. Now, since the boulder is blocking the entrance, there's only a small hole entrance that you can see through, and only small creatures are able to like go in there. But there is a saying that you must ask permission from the spirits, or kind of inform them that you are going to take pictures or videos, or even like go close to the cave if you're brave enough, just to kind of like pay your respects in a way. It is said that without permission, things can go wrong very suspiciously, and I hear this all the time from my grandma, is that when you're in a place that's full of nature, such as like a spring, you can't be too loud, you can't horseplay, you can't like play around, you can't be hyper in that place, because that is a place of where some spirits have laid to rest. That is a place where supernatural creatures or just supernatural beings that live there, and that's sort of like their house, you know? So when you go to someone's house, you have to be well behaved, you have to have your inside voice, you have to be respectful and be proper. And that is kind of like a belief here where you can't be too loud, basically. But I know many locals still believe in that sort of thing. It's always a nature-y location. So there's this story that I heard, is that these 2 loud cars went through Marmol Cliff and they stopped by the cave. And I'm guessing like the engine of these 2 cars is what kind of disrupted the peace, is what I'm thinking. This was like a long time ago. I don't think this was like in modern day. And they stopped by the cave, and it was like right in front of it, is what I heard. When they went back into their cars to, you know, start going again, the engines wouldn't work. The cars just would not go on and the engines were dead. Now, some of these misfortunes can be health related. So you could be going home sick, you could be going home with rashes, hives. In our document that we researched, it actually says the legend, it seems, has evolved into accounts that Maria Tang-an has also been resentful to any disrespectful act done along the area, like shouting, boastful hankering, and loud laughing, which could lead to dire consequences, like feeling physically ill all of a sudden, wrecked instruments / appliances, vehicle breaking down, to drowning leading to horrible death. Which we have also heard stories of someone drowning there, which I'm guessing it wasn't just a one-time thing. In the document, if we continue, it says, it was believed that the souls who died on this spot were collected to work for Maria Tang-an in her cacao business. Now, I'm usually skeptical of things like this, but however, I'm very open-minded for it to be real. Does that make sense? Like, I'm skeptical, but it's a possibility. It might have some truth into it, you know? And the thing is, you never believe in stuff like that until you've had your own experiences, which we did. Upon visiting Marmol Cliffs, we were already told of the legends and beliefs of the place before we got there. Through interviews, through research, and of course we wanted to respect the place. We wanted to behave and all of that. Since this was our second visit to Marmol Cliff and our tourism activities, we were more relaxed. And in the chaos of it all, we forgot about the permissions and stuff because there was so many people there to interview. But I did ask permission for this video just in case something bad were to happen to me. I paid my respects. I asked for permission. Don't judge me. I'm doing it out of safety. You never know. You never know. Okay, so this is what we experienced. You may believe it to be supernatural or you may not. That's up to you. But let me just tell our story. So we came from the back of Marmol Cliff and rode the raft to the front, as you saw in the video. And while they were doing their interviews and everything, our spot to wait was literally in front of the cave. So that's where we stayed for maybe an hour or so, taking pictures, taking videos. However, when Kuya Sid, our videographer, wanted to take bird's eye view shots from the front of Marmol, where we were staying at, he even wanted the drone to get close enough to the small entrance just so we could have a better perspective of it in the video and just for it to be detailed as possible. A little background story on the drone. It can fly up pretty high, hundreds of feet in the air and everything. Hello. It even took our videos on top of Atabay Peak, and that is a very high place. He even took videos at the backside of the Marmol Cliffs, and it was flying perfectly fine. The day was great. The drone was working perfect. But then when we went to the front and he wanted to fly it, it would only go up maybe 50 feet in the air and it would just stay there. It wouldn't go up any higher, and we tried for maybe 10 minutes. And after 2 minutes of us trying, the wind starts to pick up. At first it was like a good calm breeze. And then it escalated to a very strong wind to where the trees were swaying, the leaves were just going everywhere. And the clouds start to cover the sun, and we all got chills. It was just something in the air where we all kind of looked at each other like, oh no. It was a weird experience. Me and Atishi and Ethel just looked at each other like, no one asked for permission, did they? It was just, at first it was a little bit of a joke, and then it wasn't, because then it got a little scary. Kuya Sid kept trying and it still wouldn't budge. Like, it still would stay at 50 feet. After that, we just kind of gave up a little bit. We got the drone back down to the ground and we started packing our things. All of that, the wind was still scary, and it took us maybe a minute to pack our things. After we started walking, the wind just stops and the sun comes back out like nothing happened. We just laughed. We just laughed at our situation like, okay, that was strange. Sorry for disturbing you. So sorry, please forgive us. And we just went to go eat lunch. It was an experience. What can I say? It was an experience. Is there like some sort of spirit there? Is it just coincidence? I don't know. That's totally up to you. But I just thought I should share that because it was strange. Something was there. But hey, I paid my respects for this video. But it was nothing too serious, to be honest. Sorry for Duchess. We thought it was just strange. After that, we went on with our day. We finished everything without any problems. We went to go eat lunch, and then we even took a few photo shoots down the stream, nowhere near the cave. We didn't go back. We took our photo shoot somewhere else. Sige, go.
Wow. Wow.
Pagka-perfect, bro, wala ka utak.
Pak.
Balik lang. Kata-katawa.
And then we went to the coffee farm, which will be in the next episode. So stay tuned for that one. And that's all that I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe you got some chills, maybe you didn't. And if you guys want me to look more into Maria Tang-an's story and all the legends that surround her, I would gladly do that because it's something that interests me. I love stuff like that. So if you guys want me to do a separate video on that one, I will gladly do it. I will research more into it and I will use more of the documents that we created while researching about Marmol Cliffs and stuff, because it's all in our documents. If you have any stories about Maria Tang-an, please comment them down below. I would love to hear them, and I might include it in a separate video about Maria Tang-an. And if you're from a different place other than Tuburan who have heard stuff about Maria Tang-an and have your own stories in your province about her, I want to know them. Please enlighten me. I want to know. So that's all that I have for you today. Stay tuned for the next episode, which will be the Tuburan Coffee Farm. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Mwah. Bye!